Laughter is good for the soul, and even the Bible tells us it's a great medicine. The Holy Spirit, through the prophet Nehemiah, tells us that the joy of the Lord is our strength. Making people laugh is an interesting role, as we were able to contribute in helping people relax. I speak to Kojo the comedian about his journey in the industry and what it has taken to build such an inspiring brand. On today's episode, comedy meets fashion. Hi, my name is Faith Johnson and this is Christ in Fashion. So today we have Kojo, businessman, entrepreneur, running the British entertainment industry, internationally renowned and a good friend. Very proud and glad to call you a friend.
Thank you.
My first question is, how are you and how are you really?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a crazy season, I think, for everybody.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's been good. It's one of, for me, it's been one of growth. It's been one of learning. It's been one of self-reflection, facing yourself at times, and yeah, just kind of just readjusting to, I think, a new world is what I'm envisioning, like what I envisage will take place, and making sure that I still have a stake in it, kind of thing, you know. So it's been learning as well, learning a lot of new skills in the process, taking a few online classes. And just trying to just come out of this season not the same person, you know, and just kind of just putting my new skills into action.
I think it's pretty cool and amazing how you're talking about taking some classes, educating yourself, developing yourself. Why did you feel the time now to do that and take some online classes?
I think naturally my natural instinct to what was going on.
Classes?
Yeah, my natural thing was, this ain't gonna last long. You know, in denial about what year is about to take place, and saying this will be over shortly, get back to work, boom, 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 because I had so many plans that involved not even being in England. So when it got real is when I kind of maybe at some points had a breakdown. Of just kind of understanding that, wow, like I haven't got to do what I love doing for a long time. Yeah, so basically I have been learning new skills within the process of COVID, and seeing all this free time to kind of just connect with people that I don't get time to talk to. Spending more time with my son, speaking to family members, friends. You know, I looked at my phone book the other day and I was like, how many of these numbers do I actually use? Yeah. Do you see what I'm trying to say? How many of them? Like, why are they in there? So I went through a deleting process of people that
so
numbers
you have
that.
Time to do that now.
Yeah, a big cleanup. Yeah. You know, we spring clean our house, but you got to spring clean your life as well. And I think this was an opportunity for me to do that. And then I also, took 2 courses in camera skills and directing as well. I've directed a few things already, but this is time to just brush up on some new skills, learn a bit more tricks. So I did that really. So, and then I've invested in a lot of money into my own production equipment as well. So I want to actually know how to use them myself. Mm-hmm. I'm still of the mindset that you got to be everything until you can afford to pay for everything. You know, so if I have to hold the camera one day, I want to know what I'm doing, kind of thing. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So yeah, man. So it's just been one of like taking time to just better myself, learn more skills, and then come back better
and stronger. So this series is about fashion and the role that fashion plays within different spheres.
Uh-huh.
And as an entertainer and running the comedy circuit in Britain, what role does your personal brand and clothing play? Because everybody understands kind of fashion meets music, but actually fashion meets so much more than the music industry.
Of course.
And it touches so many other spheres. And this program is about highlighting much more sectors and industries and those touch points they have with fashion. And I think not too long ago, you also did a photo shoot that I saw you posted out. And you look so sleek, so sharp, but there was a range of styles from smart to casual to a little bit of touches of eclectic. And so for you, somebody that's always on stage and a public figure, what role does fashion play within?
I think fashion, I came from like the black circuit. So the black circuit normally is very kind of parallel to the black community.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Like what things matter to the black community? Image is one of the biggest things that matters to us. Image matters more to people who don't have than people who do have. So I remember coming up in a comedy game, it was about wearing the flyest clothes and the biggest brands that you couldn't afford, right? But you found a way to get those things by scrimping and saving or whatever, and buy an item at a time, and then you got an outfit. So I remember coming up, and those things were, the thing. If you got the latest fashion on, then you get attention. You get attention straight away.
Sometimes, unfortunately.
Yeah. But like, for my job is to be funny, but also get attention. Make things easier for myself. How can I make things easier for myself when I'm trying to make people laugh? So when they see you that, okay, he's got, nice clothes or whatever, that's how I grew up. If you got nice clothes, you get attention, right? So I've taken that into stand-up, and then now I'm actually in a very more secure financial space. The fashion has kind of been way more basic. It's now t-shirt and jeans. I want my personality to kind of represent within how I dress, but at all times I'm comfortable. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, I've never put something on because I felt like I'm going into this place, so I've got to wear this and be uncomfortable. Like, I will always find something within where I'm going, the uniform of what's required, to feel comfortable. So fashion for me has definitely been inconsistent. I'm also somebody who doesn't like to follow much. Like, I will definitely be interested more in taking risks as well. I'd rather say that didn't work than to have never
tried.
Yeah, to have never tried it.
And what was that as a black man, and kind of starting out as a young black man and taking that journey of self-discovery and kind of confidence building through your identity, through your dress? What was that journey like, and how did you get to a place where you were comfortable within who you are?
I think you only get to that place when you're doing what you're born to do. That's what I genuinely believe. I think your confidence exudes because you're doing what you're born to do. Like, you're in your purpose. When you're in your purpose, you won't even realize it yourself, and it will be very apparent to others. When you're walking in what you're supposed to be doing, there's a comfortability, there's an ease about what you're doing. You make it look simple. When you're walking in what you want to do, it looks difficult. It looks uncomfortable.
And it becomes difficult.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think that's why I always encourage young people to, there's what you want to do and there's what you can do. And if you do what you can do, you're walking in your purpose. That's God's gift to you. Now, everything else outside of that is what you want to do, is your opinion, is based on what you want as an individual. But God's given us all something.
Absolutely.
I wanted to be a footballer.
Did you?
Yeah, I wanted to be a footballer. That and I was good, but I was never going to be great at that. But I was born to make people laugh. I was born to make people smile. I was born to make people feel good. So when I understood that about myself, and then I was blessed to step into the world of comedy, I've made it look a certain way because I don't feel any day I've been at work. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So what people might struggle with in my world is what I make look easy because I'm in my purpose. It's not a challenge to me. There's no risk there. I feel like I'm always in control of this. And therefore, once you've got that solidarity in terms of ambition and drive, then yeah, you can walk into any room and talk at any tone you want and wear what you like because you're solid within your own kind of
Skin.
yeah. And yeah, so I think I noticed that when I started doing stand-up. I was playing football, but I was never this confident. I was never, what you said to me in football would actually, I'll be that. So if you told me I was the worst, I'd be the worst. If you told me I was the best, I'd be the best. But you can't do that with comedy. Like nothing you can say can shake what this is.
Really strong,
Yeah.
solid.
Only because I know what I'm in is for me.
And so how do you feel God has kind of brought you to that calling? How did you know that was what your destiny
I think
has been?
I think the pivotal moment I will always go back to two actually, is when in school, when we was picking our options. I think you're talking about year nine and like when you're 13, around 13.
Wow.
I played so much football, but then I had the option of doing drama or doing like double PE, I remember. And all my boys went and done double PE, and I was like, what am I playing football for 2 hours for when I do that I play for a team outside of school, I play for school team, like that's a lot. And I just felt like I'd be idle there. And I was the only one that went and done drama.
Really?
I was the only one. I was the only one that went and done drama, and I felt like drama for me at that age was interesting, and I got to be funny.
Yeah.
You know, I got to be funny. I got to write. I got to tell stories, and that's what drove me to drama. And I really liked my drama teacher as well.
That always helps.
Yeah. So there was an essence of wanting to be in her energy, because I felt like I was learning all the time when I was with her. And I ended up getting an A-star in drama.
Wow.
So that to me was the first pivotal point in my journey where I felt like God made me make that decision, and I went with my gut on that one. And then the next one was when I spent the whole summer trying to get into the School of Excellence, which was the highest elite football academy back in the day, where a lot of like Premier League players went to. And that's where they picked the best kids from around London to come and be a part of this academy. And I remember spending all the summer trying to get in, and I got picked. So that point there, from that moment, from that decision, became a horror story in football. Like I wasn't in the main team, I stopped enjoying football, and I was made to pay for one decision that I made. They all knew where I went, so I couldn't even lie. And that moment was the moment when discipline came into my life, where I said, never ever again am I going to allow myself to lose an opportunity like this ever again. So now you have arguably one of the most hardworking people in this business, because I subconsciously have a fear of being back in that place where I let something go. Do you see what I'm trying to say? But in hindsight, in the grand scheme of things, God took that away from me for a reason, because that's not my purpose. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely.
I don't believe me being a footballer was going to have the impact on the world that God wanted me to have. There you go. Exactly. So now I'm in a position that allows me to do what my purpose is, and yeah. So I think those are the two moments that shifted and redirected me to where I'm supposed to be.
You've produced, directed, written a number of shows, programs and series, and through telling those stories, through those characters, what role does those characters' dress and clothing play in articulating the character?
I'm a firm believer that everything has a uniform, subconsciously. Even when I cast, I don't care how talented you are as an actor, you ain't convincing anyone that you're a bad person. Because everybody subconsciously knows what that person looks like.
That's true.
when you wear a certain style of clothing, it's a part of a uniform. Is that woman easy? Is she sophisticated? Is she classy? All of those things have a uniform.
Absolutely.
Now the individual can be all of those and we're the total opposite, but stereotypically.
Yeah, you have the discourse of
right,
how that person looks.
Right.
You have a stereotype.
Absolutely.
Right or wrong.
Absolutely. And we all know what it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because society has told us this.
Yeah.
So when you're telling stories, you can't use that moment to try and change the game or make a point. You know, you can't say, well, no, it doesn't mean that she's easy. Well, the uniform you've given her, that's how the audience are going to read it. And and you can't now change that narrative in film, because then you're losing people organically. Organically is when they see somebody, they know what's coming. If somebody's wearing a police uniform, you can't tell me that they're here to put out fires.
That's true.
You can't say that.
That's a perfect example.
Do you know what I mean? You can't say that, because that uniform to me represents someone that's coming to help me and save me, right? That's what that job says that they're supposed to do. But they're not here to put out fires. A fireman is going to come and put out fires. Yeah, he's not about to run 800 meters. No. Right. Yeah. So all of those things is what it is. So even when we're talking to young people, we say to them, don't wear hoodies and don't do stuff. Because people's attitude is they should be able to wear what they want. We know that, but it doesn't change the fact that a person in a hoodie at night is seen as a thug.
Yeah, a threat, a danger.
Yeah. So you can sit in what you feel like you should be able to do, or you can accept that I can lessen my chances of getting in trouble by changing my uniform. Like that's my personal opinion on it. So in film, film is all about stereotypes. Yes, you wanna create stories that teach. You wanna create stories that show another way. I think you can do all of those things within the writing, but clothing is all characteristic. It's all characteristic. There's an outfit for hipsters. So I'll say there's an outfit for it. There's an outfit for the cool kid.
Yeah. There's the urban look.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like it is what it is, So
what do you think British style is?
I would say
we're so consumed by the US or Milan or Paris, but actually, as Great Britain, we have our own identity, and it's heavily pushed in music, which is fantastic and it's amazing. I think everyone's taking our identity now, though. That's like the tight clothing, the fitted clothing, the tailoring. America went on that. America had enough room for two people to wear the same outfit. That's so true.
And now it's changed.
That is so true.
Now it's changed. Everything's fitted. Everything's tailored. Everything's tighter. Because the internet's exposed them to the rest of the world. Yeah. And what is fashion? What's style? Do you see what I'm trying to say? I think America used to put clothes on. They never used to wear them. You know what I mean? And I think when anyone can put clothes on, but how can you wear it though?
Absolutely.
It's about how you wear it. I remember living in New York and seeing some guy, he had all these different designers on, but he wore it all terribly. But to him, he was the man because of the brands. Yeah. He had all these brands on, but he wasn't wearing it. And I think with us in Britain, we are stylistic. We are trendsetters. We make great ideas by accident. Like, how many times have you been in a rush, right? You put a couple of different items together that you had in your wardrobe, and you're like, wow, like this actually looks all right. Yeah. But if had you had the time, you would not have worn this outfit. You would have probably worn something a bit more simplistic. But when you put that shirt with this track jeans, and you're like, oh, I actually like it, and I find myself doing it all the time. So now I just make myself rush on purpose. So because I want to see what I can come up with. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And I think creativity isn't having all the options and picking something. Mm-hmm. It's having minimal options and creating something. Like a director in a film. If you've got access to have all the shots in the world, that's not creative to me. That means you needed all these shots. Whereas, listen, we've got 2 hours, we've got to shoot this scene in 2 hours. We're supposed to do it in 4, but we've got 2 hours. Now you're gonna start picking your shots.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna realize that you don't need the whole day.
Focused in.
Exactly. And I think limiting someone sometimes gets the best version of their work. You know, what can you do in this scenario?
Time frame. And so you've spent time, you actually lived in America. for
Yeah,
some
LA and
time,
New York.
And, you know, working within the entertainment industry out there, working with Nick Cannon, and built relationships with Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, and then you came back.
Yeah.
What brought you back?
So I went to America to learn about film, to learn about fashion, to learn about comedy, to get my hunger back. I kind of lost my hunger over here, and I wanted to be around people that were better than me. So I could kind of take, you know, what was going on over there and kind of bring it back. So for me to be able to create film and tell stories, I went over there to see how they did it. Learn from the best, because they are the best in terms of execution.
Kojo, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. That's been good.
Sharing your story and enlightening the audience about your journey and our culture and Britain and the entertainment industry and the role that fashion plays. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Pastor Chris, for this opportunity. I am Faith Johnson, and this is Christ in Fashion. In today's episode, we talked about the importance of discipline, Kojo's style and men's fashion, being certain of your purpose, knowing what God has called you to do, and how to navigate through that and finding your feet. We briefly talked about stereotypes, but remember that you are who God says you are. No matter who tries to label you or put you in a box, you are the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus.